Hello friends, welcome to a new topic today. In this chapter, let us now learn about some myths, okay? Right. So, in this the first question is a 50-year-old patient with long-standing chronic obstructive pulmonary disease develops insidious onset of aching in the distal extremities, particularly wrists, okay, aching in the wrists, and there is 10-pound loss of weight. The skin over the wrist is warm and erythematous. There is bilateral clubbing. Plain X-ray shows periosteal thickening, and there is osteomyelitis. Then what is the step? Possible osteomyelitis. It's not completely diagnosed as osteomyelitis. Then should you start ciprofloxacin, obtain a chest X-ray, aspirate both the wrists, and begin gold therapy. Here first we should obtain a chest X-ray. Okay, why? See, this clinical picture suggests something called as hypertrophic osteoarthropathy. This hypertrophic osteoarthropathy is associated with either intrathoracic malignancy, suppurative lung diseases, or it is either associated with suppurative lung diseases or congenital problems. So as a result, based on the diagnosis, we will treat the case. So as a result, we should first obtain a chest X-ray. Okay, that is the important things here. So if you see this hypertrophic osteoarthropathy, one minute, just a minute. Okay. Okay, here this hypertrophic osteoarthropathy is mainly associated with intracellular malignancy or congenital processes. So because of that, we have it can be anything. So because it can be anything, so first you should obtain a chest X-ray, and based on the chest X-ray, you will have to treat the disease. Okay, next in the next question, the patient has low grade fever, weight loss. Okay, he had low grade fever, weight loss, and has poor excursion on the right side of the chest with decreased fremitus, flatness to percussion, decreased breath sounds on the right side. So there is decreased fremitus, flatness to percussion, there is decreased breath sounds all of the right side, there is decreased breath sounds. Trachea is deviated to the left. So definitely there is something in the right that is making the trachea to deviate to the left, right? So here what is the most likely diagnosis? See, pneumothorax and pleural effusion, if it is there, then obviously trachea will be deviated to the opposite side. Fine. In consolidated pneumonia, there is no deviation of trachea. Similarly, if you see in atelectasis also, you won't see any tracheal deviation. Okay, to the opposite side, you will definitely will not see. So here it can be pneumothorax or pleural effusion. Now what is the difference? Here on percussion, pneumothorax will be hyper resonant because of the air, but here there is flatness to percussion, so obviously it is pleural effusion. Okay, next we have 106. So in the 106, there is a 60-year-old female with history of urinary tract infection, steroid dependent chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, and asthma. She presents with bilateral infiltrates, and even there is eosinophil count of 15%. What is the least likely diagnosis? It's not most common, it is least likely. See which of the first we will see which of the following is associated with eosinophil count. So bronchopulmonary aspergillosis, it is associated with eosinophil count. Hypersensitivity pneumonitis, yes, it is sometimes associated with eosinophil count, but not very often. Okay, strongyloids stercoralis, yes, it is associated with eosinophil count. And nitrofurantoin, and if you see, two drugs can cause eosinophilic pneumonia. One is nitrofurantoin, second is sulfonamides, will cause eosinophilic pneumonia. So sulfonamides. So if you see, all these three are definitely associated with increased eosinophils. Okay, but hypersensitivity pneumonitis is not associated with eosinophilia. It will have bilateral chest infiltrates. It can present as all the other things, but it is not associated with eosinophilia. Okay, Next question, a 40-year-old alcoholic develops cough. There is cough and there is the chest X-ray shows air fluid level in the superior segment of the right lower lobe. Air fluid levels are seen in the superior segment of right lower lobe. The most common etiological agent is, so there is cough and fever. He is an alcoholic. This is the main. So because he is an alcoholic, there is here what has happened in the what has resulted in this pneumonia. The main reason is it can be aspiration, right? This aspiration must have resulted in pneumonia. What is the most common organism responsible for aspiration pneumonia? Those are anaerobes. Anaerobes are mainly responsible for aspiration pneumonia. Okay, now this is a separate, this is a new type of questions which were given in last 1 year once in AIIMS. So this question you are given these many options, and which one of the following you will have to choose one for each of these conditions. Okay, so if you see, first we will see congestive heart failure. It is related to pleural effusion. Congestive heart failure, if you remember, this congestive heart failure mainly causes it is due to transudate. Okay, you will have to first differentiate whether which of these is transudate and exudate. We will see that first. Tuberculosis is definitely an exudate. Even empyema is an exudate. Okay, congestive heart failure is a transudate. Then empyema and tuberculosis are always exudates. Then if you see rheumatoid arthritis are also most of the times they are also exudates. Rheumatoid arthritis are also exudates. Okay, so what do you see? See, first in the congestive heart failure we'll see transudate. So what is the characteristics of transudate among all these? Transudate, you will have less protein. The protein will be less in the transudate, in the transudate when compared to the blood, right? So because of that, this is the B. Okay, I'll write here. This is B. Okay, then we have in 109 we have tuberculosis. Tuberculosis, what is tuberculosis? Tuberculosis is definitely an exudate. Okay, so and if you see, this tuberculosis is mainly associated with lymphocytes, right? So tuberculosis with 100% exudate with 100% lymphocytes is mainly the tuberculosis. Okay, then we have empyema. What do you see? Empyema is filling of pus cells. Okay, so this empyema, the main thing in empyema is less pH. Okay, the empyema will have very low pH, so this is pH less than 7. If you see rheumatoid arthritis is characterized by low glucose levels. So in rheumatoid arthritis you will have less glucose levels. Here the less glucose levels are in C. Okay, glucose levels are less in C. Okay, then the final one which was missed here is if for example if there is mesothelioma, then how will the what will be the features in mesothelioma? Mesothelioma, what do you see? Mesothelioma, you can see bloody effusion, right? Because it is presence of mesothelial cells that line the pleural cavity. So this might produce bloody effusion, so there will be E. Okay, this is bloody effusion. So these are the different ways how to diagnose this type of questions. Thank you guys for watching my lecture. Thank you.